Hey everybody, Brian here again. Hopefully you saw my video last week about the best Halloween parties to go to, or you didn't because you're not interested in Halloween parties. I don't know, I don't control what you do. Either way, you're watching this one, and this is a similar video about the best Christmas parties to go to at Walt Disney World in 2018. Got my calendar back up, got all the Christmas parties marked, and I've got my marker somewhere, there it is, ready to mark this up for you. Yes, you'll notice I'm in a different place and I have a calendar taped to a window. I am in my outdoor kind of sunroom porch thing because my kids are off school now and it gets really hard to record in the house without sending them outside, and it's kind of early in the morning. I didn't really want to make them go outside this early. Anyway, so the quick version of what this is. This is something I started doing as a blog post and have been doing for, I think, 6 or 7 years now, I don't even remember. There is a blog post that will be linked below this, although as this video comes out, the blog post actually isn't up yet. I actually beat the blog with the video this time, which I almost never do. And on the blog post, there will be the full list, ranked 1 to 22, because there are 22 Christmas parties this year. In this video, I'll just go over my top 5 and my bottom 5, and give it a little bit of an expanded rationale to why we went with certain parties over other parties. So first, let me tell you a little bit about it. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party takes place at the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, every November and December. It starts this year on Thursday, November 9th, ends on December 21st. And I know what you're thinking, Christmas is until December 25th. Why do they end the party here? The answer is because this week of Christmas is very, very busy, and they just don't want to close the park early, because part of what you get with the Christmas party is access to the Magic Kingdom where other guests don't. It is a hard ticket party, meaning it is a separate ticket. You can't just get in on your normal Walt Disney World ticket. You have to buy a separate ticket that costs anywhere from $95 up to, I think, $115-ish for an adult. The Christmas party at the Magic Kingdom runs from 7 p.m. until midnight. On days where there is a Christmas party, the Magic Kingdom will close at 6 p.m. And that buffer hour is just to kind of get the regular day guests out of the park before the party officially starts. That was new for the Christmas party last year, and it apparently worked out pretty well because they did it for the Halloween party this year and for the Christmas party again. And that's nice because anyone with a ticket to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party can get into the park starting at 4 p.m. So you can actually be in there at 4 and you get to stay through that 6 to 7 p.m. hour. You can also enter anytime. Just after 6, you need to have that party ticket. If you were there beforehand, all you have to do is go find the registration areas. They give you a wristband, and then occasionally you'll have to show cast members your wristband as you're walking around the park. If you want to see a little bit more about how the Christmas party works and everything that's included with it, the parades, the shows, the fireworks, all that stuff, I was at the first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party of 2017, and that video is popping up right here over my head. You can go ahead and click on that. It is also linked below and will pop up again at the end of this video. Now, how do we figure out what the best parties are to go to? We take a couple things into account, but the most important one is the wait times. We do collect wait times for all times of day, including during events like this. Now, wait times don't necessarily indicate which parties are going to be the busiest, because the parties aren't just about the rides. In fact, sometimes the busier parties have lower wait times because the people going there are really just interested in the Christmas festivities, so they're not interested in doing all the rides. So we also look at which parties sold out for the past few years. Now, like the Halloween party, there were fewer sellouts in 2017 than there were in previous years, but the Christmas party still had more than the Halloween party, partially because there are fewer Christmas parties. There are 22 Christmas parties. There are, I think, 31 or 32 Halloween parties this year. So that goes into it. We also look at what our touring plans, crowd calendar, crowd levels are for the day leading up to the party. That's not a one-to-one indicator always, but it can be significant. And obviously the calendar itself makes a difference. One thing you might notice on here, and one of the reasons that they can only fit in so many Christmas parties, is that Thanksgiving week right here, there are no Christmas parties. That is, again, because like Christmas week, Thanksgiving week is busy. So they don't want to close Magic Kingdom at 6 p.m. to do a party. Now, during Thanksgiving week, you cannot see things like the Christmas parade or the Christmas fireworks. Christmas week, you can. After this last party on the 21st, they start showing the Christmas parade and fireworks as the regular parade and fireworks. If you are there for Thanksgiving week and want to do a Christmas party, you have to overlap with one of these. Now, because of that, these can be a little bit busier, especially the last party right before Thanksgiving and the first party right after Thanksgiving tend to get bumped up a little bit. Obviously, the ones closer to Christmas get busy too. We'll get to those when we get to what we think will be the busiest Christmas party. Now, the parties that have sold out for the Christmas party do not influence our rankings quite as heavily as they do for Halloween, mostly because almost all the parties have sold out at one time or another. But since I'm talking about it already, let's just get right into it with the best 5 Christmas parties to go to in 2018. Number 1 is right here, Tuesday, November 13th. Tuesdays in general are better for both the Christmas and Halloween parties if you are there for a full week. Even if it's down here in this week that's going to be busy, this Tuesday party will be better than any of the others. This one right here, Tuesday, November 13th, was what we rated as the least busy party last year, and I believe the second least busy party the year before. Second on the list, another Tuesday, December 11th, down here. This one did actually sell out 3 years ago. We wait the last 2 years a little bit more, and there have been fewer sellouts in 2016 and 2017 than there were previously. The reason we like this one, other than using the stats that I've discussed before, is it kind of falls in this sweet spot where you're not ramping up to Christmas week yet, but you're far enough away from Thanksgiving week. And that sweet spot brings us to the next one, which is Thursday, December 6th, right there. Same thing, anytime you get these parties bunching up like this, there's always one that just doesn't seem to get the crowds. December 6th is a good choice. Again, it's not a Friday. It's still in that sweet spot, as is this one, December 13th. Basically the same thing as December 6th. Now, you might be wondering why I haven't circled Tuesday, December 4th yet. It does look like it would be a good one. The problem is it sold out last year. I don't know why exactly. That is why it's not recommended this year. It's still in the middle of the pack or so because the wait times were low, the crowd calendar rating is low. It's just that sellout that pushes it up. So that one could be a very good party, or it could sell out again, but that one confused me, I gotta be honest. The 5th one is back up here, Thursday, November 15th. Basically the same thing as November 13th. The only risk there is that people will come in Thursday to stay for Thanksgiving week, but that's a pretty long trip. I think they're still more likely to go to that 16th or 25th parties there. There's kind of a sweet spot here. There is these couple parties right in the middle of November, and then this area right here in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is an area that at Touring Plans we have been recommending for a while now. Crowds, of course, have risen during this area compared to previous years, but you could say that about basically the whole year. These first 2 weeks of December are still a nice lull in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So what do we think the busiest parties will be? First one, right there, the very last party of the year. And that one too. These last 2 parties of the year, you're just getting the crowds that are starting to come for Christmas. This week through New Year's is the busiest period of the year, hands down, and the crowds start to ramp up. You will see a fair amount of Wednesday to Wednesday travelers that want to be there for Christmas. And then these 2 Christmas parties are right in that bullseye. Next one, right there, December 16th. Same thing, you're just starting to lead up to crowds. And this party right here, December 16th, sold out 2 weeks in advance last year. So it was sold out by the beginning of December last year. That's a long way. So we think that's still gonna be busy. I didn't mention for these 2. This one only sold out 2 days in advance last year, but 16 days in advance in 2016. And this one has sold out around 20 days in advance every year for the last 5 or 6 years. It ranges anywhere from about 18 to 23 days in advance. So if you want to go to that last party, definitely have your tickets in hand before Thanksgiving, or you might not have an option. This party on the 18th here is actually in the bottom 5 as well, so 4 out of the bottom 5 right there. And the other one that's not, right there, November 30th. This November 30th party sold out 4 days in advance last year, and it has sold out the past few years, so that's why that one. Another one I would like to mention here, I believe it is 6th on the list, November 25th right there, like I said, the first party after Thanksgiving always gets a little bit busy. And in case you're wondering, there were 8 total parties that sold out last year. These 6 that I have mentioned, this one right there, and the very first one sold out last year. Now it's the first time since I've been tracking that the first party has sold out. And it sold out 2 weeks in advance, which was pretty surprising, actually. I was at that party. That's the one that I took the video at. So if you want to see what a sold out party looks like, watch the video. It actually wasn't that bad. Now, I didn't ride any of the rides or anything like that, but the wait times I saw were fine, and I got a pretty good spot for the parade. I got into a pretty good area for the fireworks. So I wouldn't necessarily be afraid to tell you to go to a party that may be sold out. But if you get your choices of parties, I would look at those circled ones first. Hopefully I have covered everything. If not, please ask questions below. Watch our other videos, like me at last year's Christmas party, which will be popping up here-ish somewhere. Remember to subscribe to touringplans.com because we have tons of information like this and touring plans specifically for the parties. And be excellent to each other, and Merry Christmas.